Time of the year where Christmas is around the corner and a lot of people are going to go to Mexico to visit family members. Must be nice because I kind of want to already go back. I'm sorry. What's up guys, it's your boy Frosty, and today's video we're going to be talking about dual citizenship with these two passports. Now I already know I talked about dual citizenship in a recent video of how to get one, but in this video we're going to be talking about how to use properly your two passports while traveling from point A to point B, which, you know, from the United States to Mexico and back. So we're going to be talking about how to do it. I know you might be thinking it's a little bit common sense, you know, just use your Mexican passport to enter the country, and to leave, use your American passport. You might be thinking it's common sense, but in reality it's not like that. I mean, it is common sense, but in this case, you know, I'm going to show you how this all works, because I already went to Mexico as a dual citizen, and, you know, I went on July 5th and came back on October 1st. Pretty long time. So we're gonna be explaining how, you know, how this process goes into, you know, I took some pictures from my, you know, of what documents are going to give you and what things are going to tell you. So yeah, I've been trying to research all around the internet, trying to search how to, you know, travel as a dual citizenship, and from YouTube, TikTok, and travelstate.gov, and none of them really gave me the response that I'm wanting to. I mean, unless there was only one YouTuber that actually did explain how to get from there, but right there she didn't really explain a lot about the details of what things are going to give you, or what things like to do when you get back, and you know, all that stuff. So in this video I'm going to be telling you everything you need to know and how I did it safely. No inspections, you know, from the TSA, from the airport, none of that. Everything was perfectly fine. Step number one: if you are going to Mexico, then obviously you're gonna have to go to the internet. You're gonna have to go to the internet and try to book your flight with whatever airline. For me, I took Volaris, which was, I know it's not really the best option because it's not really the best airline, supposedly they said, but financially enough, that was my option of taking that airline. So yeah, so I took that airline, and basically, you know, so I did all the information, you know, I did it on the website. So fill out the information, like, you know, the day that you're gonna go, you know, the carry-on bags, everything. And once you get to this special part right here where it says Mexican national, you know, the passport information, your name, date of birth, and all that. So right there, this is what I did personally. So I personally chose to put like my nationality Mexican, since, you know, I didn't want to pay DNR tax, because if you put American, you're gonna pay DNR tax, and you know, you're gonna pay full price for the ticket. But one cool thing about being a dual citizen, they're gonna discount you a couple bucks from your plane ticket as a dual citizen, well, as a Mexican, you know, as a Mexican citizen. So there are two ways to go at it. You can put, you know, nationality Mexican, and they're gonna discount you the price of the ticket, or you can also put American nationality, but obviously you're gonna say if you're gonna pay DNR tax, you're gonna pay government fees, tourist fees, and then after that, right there's a little section part where it says, do you have any supporting Mexican documents, such as passport, credential card, whatever that you have to prove that you have Mexican citizenship of some sort. And you're gonna click yes for that, and they're gonna discount it. But in my own way, I just put Mexican nationality, since I didn't really want to use my American information, or with this one, well, I didn't want to put any information with it. So anyways, so once you've done once you completed all the details, you have now finally booked your ticket, you know, the regular stuff. And so once the day of your trip, once the day comes by, so here's my experience and how you can do it as well. So obviously, if you're gonna, you know, if you're gonna go with one specific airline, please download the airline app that you're gonna be using. For me, I used the Volaris app. Day of your flight is gonna ask you again for your well, basically for your passport information. So in this case, you're gonna put your Mexican information, like this one. You're gonna put all the details of the information, you know, your name, your date of birth, what passport, well, Mexican, what nationality, Mexican, and you know, it's gonna tell you to complete all that. So all of that, you're gonna fill out your Mexican nationality, your Mexican passport. Don't use the American one. I'll tell you when to use it in this video. So now that you have done all that, you have the QR scan, you have the scan QR code for your flight tickets. You're gonna go up to the front the front up desk of the airport that you're traveling to, and well, depending if you're gonna do any check-in for the bag luggages or whatever for to go under the plane. But if you're not, then just go up to the receptionist desk, and just show them the QR code and give them the Mexican passport so they can scan it, because they can finally scan the passport with now with this biometric feature, because this is now like plastic. It's not like the paper ones that we used to get. So they're gonna scan it and they're gonna verify it to you, and there you go. You're all set to go to the plane. Two things that they should give you, whether it's on the front receptionist desk or in the plane, but nowadays I think it's just on the front receptionist desk. So they're gonna give you this paper. I took it. This paper is basically for foreigners and for citizens to fill out entering the country Mexico, and just fill out the Mexican information. Put nationality Mexicana, and there's a part that I kind of got confused. I didn't fill it out, but there is a part where it says on the middle right here, it says if you are a foreigner or extranjero, like basically a traveler, how many days are you staying in Mexico? But if you are a citizen, how many days did you stay in the United States? So that's where the part I got confused, because I was like, I'm a dual citizen. I don't think I need to put any specific type of date that I'm staying in Mexico, because I have no idea. I had no reference. I had no I only had direct flight over there. I didn't really have a plan to go back to the United States. That's why I chose to come back October 1st, which was a pretty long time in Mexico. But no, I have no idea how to fill it out. If you guys do have any idea of, like, how to fill it out, then please let me know in the comments below. But in this case, I didn't fill out anything. I just kind of just clicked no, or sorry, I basically wrote an X, having like no idea what to put, and just filled out the rest of the information until I get to the Mexican international airport and see what they can tell me. So now that you filled out all that information in this little paper, don't lose it. Always keep it with you, because at the end of the day, if you do lose it, you're gonna probably pay fees for that or whatever. But I'm assuming that they pay fees. I have no idea, but just be aware, take care of the papers, and take care of your passports and all your documents that you have. So now that you arrived to the international airport of Mexico, so this is going to be probably common sense. If you already traveled to Mexico like before, then you already know that there's two lines saying foreigners on one line and citizens on another line. Obviously, since you're a dual citizen or Mexican citizen, you go to the Mexican citizens line. Duh, common sense, right? Anyways, now that you went there, you're just gonna hand them the Mexican passport. And if they do ask you for the little paper that you filled out, then just give both of them. If not, depending on what they're wanting to. What they're wanting from you, just give them the Mexican passport. But for me, they just asked me for the Mexican passport, so it won't really matter. The paper, they will ask it in front. In a little bit, I'll tell you where they're gonna ask it. So yeah, you already entered the Mexican citizen line. You're all set to go to get your luggages, or to go into this other section that is the inspection line. So the inspection line is for all travelers, all citizens of Mexico to go through. So it is I don't know what system it's called, but it's the system of the green light and red light. So red light meaning that you're gonna go to inspection with TSA, and green light that they're gonna let you go easily without no inspection. So this is the part where they're gonna ask you. Well, I don't really know if they're gonna ask you for your passport, but they're gonna ask you for the little booklet, or sorry, the little paper that you filled out. And I gave it to them. For me, in this experience, ever since I went to Mexico twice with the American passport, I would always get inspected. And so here's my theory. I don't know, let me just talk about it. Here's my theory. I don't know whether they only look at people with Mexican passport. That's why I kind of got my Mexican passport. And because here's my theory, which I think it's true and might not be true, who knows, because he was looking, I was kind of like, hey, here's my Mexican passport. I didn't really tell him that, but I was like, I don't know. I kind of just showed him off that I am a Mexican citizen, so I don't get inspected, because in those 2 years, 2020 and 2022, I did get inspected because I was having an American passport. So I went in, in this year, I went in and I didn't get inspected at all. So my theory, I was like, okay, let me check behind me, because there were some terrorists that were that were Americans, and they did get inspected. So I was like, my theory probably came out as true. Maybe they only inspect terrorists. Maybe might be false. I have no idea how that system works. But either ways, I mean, that's why I got my Mexican passport, just so I can avoid that. And so once you are done with inspection, or you pass through the green light and you already filled out the form, The form, that this part right here that I didn't fill out, they didn't ask me for anything. They just, you know, accepted it, and boom, I was basically done. I didn't get inspected. I was free to go. I got green light, which was probably the best feelings ever. Yeah. So that's the way of coming from the United States to Mexico. Now, it's, you know, if you are returning back to the United States, you might be thinking, oh, all you gotta do is just use your American passport, right? From Mexico to the United States. Well, here it is. Here's the common sense part. Don't use it. Don't use this yet, because one thing they did tell me is that I'm probably gonna pay the tourist card that I mentioned before, the FMM format, which is the tourist card. You're gonna pay for that, so don't use the American passport, and I'll later explain when to use it in this video. So if you are coming back from Mexico to the United States, then one thing you're gonna do, you're gonna use your Mexican passport. You're gonna use the Mexican details, you know, like basically you're gonna do the same thing like you did from the United States, you know, from the application, whatever airline that you're gonna be using. You're gonna use your Mexican information on the application, and, you know, all set to go. That's all you gotta do. And then once that, you're gonna, you know, if you do have a luggage check-in, you know, check in the luggages, and try to find the front desk receptionist, or ask a member of the airport to verify your documents, because this is really important. If you don't find the receptionist desk to verify all those things, it's really important to do so, because they're going to give you this important paper for you to fill out. So if you do end up finding the front receptionist desk of the airport, now you might be thinking, wait a minute, if I'm going to be leaving with a Mexican passport, aren't they going to tell me that I need a visa or a residency card? Well, guess what? You're right. They did ask me for that, and obviously, you know, that's what they asked me. I presented with a Mexican passport, and then afterwards, I, you know, just give them, oh yeah, it's because I'm a dual citizen for the United States. I do have proof right here. So I gave them, you know, both of my passports, and they, you know, verified everything for you. They just, you know, said, okay, he's a dual citizen. I don't know what type of things they did in the computer, but they accepted me as a Mexican citizen. And then afterwards, they're gonna give you this card right here, this paper right here, which is basically a card, or not a card, I'm sorry, a paper for Mexican citizens that are leaving Mexico and entering another country. You know, so it's like this is an exemplar of how it looks like. And this is a picture of how I filled it out. So yeah, if you want to take this exemplar and remember how these papers and documents they look like, so this is for leaving the country of Mexico, this is for entering the country of Mexico, you know. So with this one, this is how you're gonna fill it out. And once you filled out all the information, you know, just put it in here in your passport, you know, like as a ticket, you know, just put it in there. And then once you're at the terminal gate, you give them your passport, and you give them a passport and the little paper that you filled out, and perfect, boom, they accepted it, everything was okay, and I went on the plane with no problems. And yeah, that's easy peasy of how it is when you're going from Mexico to the United States. Just use your Mexican passport, and, you know, either ways you do have proof that you are a US citizen of that country. So yeah, pretty obvious. So now that you have arrived to the international airport of the United States, now this is the part where you don't use your Mexican passport at all. Now it is time to use your American passport. So right here, I'm going to tell you where. So obviously, you know, you're going to go through Customs and Border Protection Services in your local international airport. And once you're through that, you give this passport. But here's the thing that surprises me though. You know, this is crazy how the Mexican government and the United States government know all about you, because the lady asked me, it was a lady, she was like, I gave her the passport, I didn't mention that I was a dual citizen, I was just, you know, here you go, good afternoon, and she was like, did you travel with a Mexican passport, or do you have a Mexican passport? Don't lie, if they do ask you that, just, you know, tell them, just truthfully tell them yes. You won't get in trouble, because either ways on the system, you're a dual citizen of both countries. So they already know you're a dual citizen in both of the countries, so there's no way you're gonna get out of it. And yeah, they didn't tell me anything. Don't worry, they're not gonna inspect you, or they're not gonna tell you anything bad. They just, you know, if they do ask you that, then just say yes, you do have a Mexican passport, you're a citizen of two countries. And boom, I was free to go to get my luggages and safely step out of the airport, safely step out of Immigration and Border Protection Services. Yeah, you successfully traveled with 2 passports. I know I know we're all used to, you know, traveling with 1 passport like this, but with 2, you know, I took one for the team to see how my experience was. I didn't get any trouble. This is how I all experienced it. But if you have any other experiences that you want to share to the public, please let me know in the comments below, so you know you can help others who have dual citizenship for the first time and don't know how to use them, because you know you got to use them correctly from point A to point B. So yeah, this is my explanation of how, and my experience of how I did it with 2 passports going to Mexico from the United States and back. So yeah, if you guys have any other questions, please let me know. If you're a little bit more confused about if you have any more questions about going through TSA, please let me know in the comments below. And if you are trying to get a dual citizenship, if you're wanting to get your dual citizenship, go to my recent videos. Here you go. Here's a little info box here that will pop up. Go watch that video. It's going to tell you all the process of what things you need to know, what documents you need to get in order to get your, you know, dual citizenship like I have here. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Please follow my social media if you'd like to. It's in the link description below. And yeah, have fun on your traveling trip with this video, and have fun to Mexico. That's if you're gonna go to Mexico. So yep, stay frosty and peace out.